Hello everyone and welcome to 404 Games Not Found. My name's Valaine and this is the Clay Soldier Civilization project by the Sneaky Bros. This is step 4 of rebuilding the Skytown. We're nearly finished. We've done quite a lot of work since you last came, and I'm going to show you around exactly what I've been doing, what's changed, and how your feedback has affected the build so far. So I need you to stick around for the end of the video because I'm going to be discussing some things and I want you to leave your opinion and any ideas you may have. So let's have a look around. Let's start off. Let's start off with the actual village. If you remember here, there was a big empty patch of grass and this was going to be for the houses. A lot of you left me some suggestions and told me to build the houses on the floating islands. So what I did with this is I turned it into a Greek/Roman style public bath. I know public baths are typically Roman, but for this we're going for it's Greek and Roman because it kind of fits the theme. So this is where they would come to relax. I did this for a reason. The reason I chose to build a public bath as opposed to maybe a library or an academy or a war room or anything like that is because the white clay soldiers, this area, these islands are considered to others as being sort of heavenly or a form of heaven. And I wanted them to have a place of relaxation where they can come, they can sit down, they can relax in the water, they can talk to the other clay soldiers, and they can just relax, they can just chill out. And I thought it'd be a nice addition to give them a building that none of the other civilizations have, to make them feel a bit more unique. Let me know what you guys think, because I personally I like the idea of having a public bath. I think it's kind of a nice place for them to come and discuss their day. Talk about the events of the world. What they've been observing, anything that they want to do. It's built mainly out of quartz, as you can see. I've stuck with the quartz architecture style. It's got a bit of the stone in there. A lot of you have been suggesting on the Sneaky Bros channel and on this channel that all the buildings be made out of quartz. There's a reason I'm not doing that. I'm going to explain that in this video, why the stone is still here, why it's cobblestone, why it's stone bricks, and why it's quartz, and it's all coming together like this. There is a reason for that, and I'm going to explain it to you guys towards the end of the video, so stick around for that. This building here, you can see the steps going down. I'm going to explain what that is a little later on because it's kind of a new idea that I've been toying around with, so I'll need some feedback on it. Let's go to your feedback. You told me you wanted to see the clay soldiers live on the smaller floating islands. So, for example, I decided to build them little houses because obviously they're very little. They don't need big mansions. They don't need houses the size of this. So we've gone for something like this. It's made out of stone, but they've still got the quartz architecture nearby to show what they are. They live on the small little floating islands, and they're just very simple little houses with wide windows so they can continue the theme of observing things. And they've got like little garden areas and they can see out, and they've got it's well protected up here, and this is where they live. And if you just look inside the houses, they're very similar to the elven pods from the elves that I made. They're quite small. They're not particularly space invading. They're just kind of nice, quaint little houses out of the way. They're close together because I like the idea that the white clay soldiers, they form like a community. They like to talk to each other. That's why they have social areas and stuff. So I decided to place the houses close together. Now, this isn't the only houses that they have. I didn't build the whole civilization to houses. I decided that rather than build them all floating around like that, I would have some under the cloud layer. So if we go down here, we have 3 houses very close together, forming a nice little street down here that they can come and they can listen to their music and lie in the beds and all this other stuff. I mean, it's very primitive music, we're talking lutes and stuff, but it's all good. From here, they can observe the elves in their house, they can watch the elven clay soldiers doing their jazz over there. And over here, if we have a look, down there, they can see the purples. And it's just a nice way for them to be able to see everything that's going on. They've got their own little gardens down here, they've got the nice trees. They can come out and they can just, do their thing. They can have their little observations that they like to do. And it's just a nice way for them to be able to live together and still be close to the main town, which is what I thought was important. Rather than using up all the space in the town for housing, I like the idea of placing them around on orbiting islands. That's what I've done over here as well. This one's slightly bigger. I didn't want all the islands to be the same size, so these ones have got slightly more room. You've got another little statue there, and they can come in here and they can sleep and they can do the stuff. It's all good. They can still see everywhere. They can see the rest of the village from here. So yeah, that was my take on the floating housing islands. Let me know what you guys thought, because some of you were saying have the houses dangle off the bottom and stuff. I didn't do that because it kind of felt too similar to the tree. Because if you look at the tree, they've got like the pods sticking there. If you right there, sticking out of the tree as part of it. I didn't want them to live as part of the island. I wanted them to live on the island like they do over here. So that's kind of what they're going for with that. So those are the houses. I'm going to do a quick sweep so you can see everything that's going on. You've got these little floating islands up here now. They're all focused around the central beacon still. The village is coming together nicely, and yeah, we can just carry on sweeping around. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to explain to you exactly why I'm still not using quartz for everything. The reason I'm not using quartz for everything is mostly because Ziklag and I still quite like the castle and the observatory, and rather than trying to rebuild them stone for stone, brick for brick with quartz, I decided to leave it as it was, because quartz on its own, while you can do things like this and make patterns with it and sort of break it up, it's just white. It's very, very white. I know they're the white clay soldiers, but if you put too much of it together, it looks very bland, and I'm trying to go for a mix of the architecture styles. So they've still got the castle, they've still got the observatory, and they've still got the stone bridges and the stone walkways. We're going to jazz these up a bit. We're going to make them look a bit nicer, and that's going to be step 5 for this. But for now, we're going for a nice mix of the two, if not purely because it breaks up the colour and it just makes it a little bit nicer to look at. Admittedly, it does look more heavenly if it's all quartz, and some of you are right to point that out, but they are still a civilization and they still need to be practical, and stone is more practical than quartz for a building material. So they're going for a mix of the two where they need it. The luxury buildings, like their seating areas, their public bathhouse, their big watchtower, the temple, those are luxury buildings. Those are things that can be made out of quartz to show off their power. Practical buildings like the observatory and the castle, they need to be built out of stone because it's stronger. It signals strength to the other civilizations. So that's why we've done that. The last thing I'm going to show you guys, this thing down here. We're going to go into a little bit of the lore of the white clay soldiers, because some of you quite like the lore. To the other civilizations, the white civilization, the white clay soldiers are regarded to be as heaven, or a place higher up, a place that you go to when you've served your purpose, and you can live and serve here. Now, when you get here, they will be dragged down here, or marched down here, and told to stand here. When they get here, they will be greeted by 5 soldiers who will stand on each one of these pedestals here. These are known as the judicators. The judicator's job is to judge a clay soldier and see if he's worthy and of a good spirit to live up here among the clouds. If he is deemed unworthy, this level will be pulled, and they will plummet, and they will land here, and most likely die if they're not dead already. From that point, if they are dead, they can choose to remain in limbo and go to the ruins, where they can serve as the undead and all the other stuff that lives in the ruins, and basically wander until they fulfill their purpose. Or they can accept their fate and realize they have failed their judgment, and they can go to the clay soldiers version of hell and spend eternity there. So when I'm finished falling, we call this the door, well, I call this the Door of Judgment. It's quite a complicated build, actually. I'm not going to show you exactly how it's done, but behind all this quartz, there's a lot of redstone circuitry, repeaters, and all this other stuff going up on different levels and around, hooking these to sticky pistons, which pull it together and close it apart when you trigger it. So that's the Door of Judgment. Let me know what you guys think of the Door of Judgment. Do you think it's a good idea to have the white clay soldiers have an element of cruelty and almost decision making about who joins them and who doesn't? I think it's a good idea. I personally, I like the idea that there is an element of danger still even up here for any potential clay soldiers that ascend here. So let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you guys think about the floating islands. Do you like this? If we take a really far out look at, right, this is the civilization so far. So I want to know what you guys think, if you like it, if you want to see anything more. I've still got a couple of things left to do. But again, this is for you guys. You guys wanted to see some Greco-Roman architecture within the Clay Soldiers Civilization project, so I'm trying to deliver that to you. So let me know what you guys think down below. Anyway, until next time, I've been Valaine. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, check out the previous episodes if you haven't yet, and I'll see you for the next one.